Good morning, Mr. Kimbol. How are you doing today?
Good, thank you.
I want to hear more about your story and how you came to Christ and to God.
My mom and dad were divorced when I was 10, so it left my mom alone to raise 3 small children. And my mom also had some mental illness. I had to kind of help her and help with my sister and brother, make sure my mom would take her medications.
Yeah.
There were a few times when she would not take them. She would end up having a relapse, and I'd have to go and check her into a mental hospital. Now, my sister didn't fare so well, and she, I think she suffered quite a bit from having my mom in that state, mental state.
Yeah.
I found out that my sister went missing. This was Friday, January 17th, 1969. So we had neighbors and friends from the National Guard and the family looking for her. She had ridden her bicycle over to the Villa Italia Mall and never had come home. So that weekend, we spent all the weekend looking for her with no success. I went back to the mall on Sunday night, talked to a security guard about any trouble that had gone on at the mall since Friday. And he did mention one incident that happened in a gift card store. And they explained to me that there was a young agitated girl and described my sister, and she had pulled the cards off the display and was yelling and pretty disturbed. And so they asked her to leave the store, as you could imagine.
Yeah.
And she went out the back door, and the store told me the employees watched her, and she went into this field behind the mall. And so I decided to go ahead and just walk where they pointed out that she had, went to. I climbed the hill, and there was fresh snow on the ground, and I got to a rise right by this large tree that they had pointed to, and I could see there was a little frozen pond there, and I could see the form of a body laying covered with the snow. And I just had this sickening feeling that was my sister. And they came out, and sure enough, it was my sister. So, of course, that was a painful time for my family, for my dad and my stepmom. And this incident with my sister really kind of made me consider the meaning of life,
So I have a quick question for you.
Sure.
Before your commitment to Christ, how did you view God before all this stuff that happened?
I believed there was a God, but I didn't worship. I wasn't a member of any church. I was really into the world. I drank, and so I was on the beginning of alcoholism, probably, as much as I drank. Then my wife invited me to go to her church, and that's where I got saved.
Wow.
And never turned back. My dad eventually accepted the Lord.
Wow.
He was on his deathbed, and I witnessed to him, and it was Father's Day, and I told him, I said, this would be a great Father's Day if you would come to know my Jesus. And he accepted the Lord, and so that was a wonderful thing for me.
It must have been very powerful.
It was. I've gone through some pretty hard times in my life.
Yeah.
One being with my mother, and helping her through her mental station, and then my sister's death, and later on my brother's death. And those things God has brought me through those things and made me a stronger Christian over time. I mean, I can look back on those and see how God has changed my life.
Yeah. Well, Mr. Kimbol, thank you so much for your story. It's profound and it's powerful, and I'm sure it's going to bless a lot of people at this event. So once again, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.